Yeah, shit.
Post Mortem, like, kind of came out of nowhere as well. Like, one day there was this trailer for it.
Yeah.
There was no news or anything, and then this trailer drops, and I was like, okay, I'm sold on this. And then it arrived like I think almost a month or two later. It was really quick, kind of out, and it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really exciting to see, and something so different.
Yeah.
How long ago did you start filming the series?
So we filmed it like last year from August until December.
Okay.
So it's actually not that long ago.
Yeah. Thinking about that, actually, that's a very good turnaround.
Yeah. So they did the post-production quite quick. but yeah. Suddenly we had a TV series.
Yeah.
It was like because we're such a small we're only 5 main actors, and some of us know each other from before, so it felt like we were kind of this group living in Skarnes, which is a really small city in like 1.5 hours from Oslo, making something that we liked, and then suddenly it was like Netflix hit. So it's kind of overwhelming, actually. Yeah.
How long were you kind of approached to do the series, or was that also very a quick kind of turnaround as well?
No, actually, it was a year before that, in 2019. Yeah. So that we started the auditioning for this part, and also I was auditioning also with because we had to find, of course, the brother, Odd's character. Odd's character. It's funny in English. So I kind of auditioned a lot for the next like couple of months to get the part, and then we started like the pre-production.
The series itself, I mean, how would you describe it for those that might watch this interview and have not seen it yet and need some conviction to watch it? How would you best describe it? Because it's a little different than your average Nordic noir, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that it's like a dark comedy combined with what we usually call it like a Nordic vampire, as a Nordic take on a vampire series.
Okay.
So it's not your like average vampire series, but kind of like a Fargo-ish universe with this vampire element like thrown into it.
I liked Ilya said I kind of called it like vampire noir or something. Which is a good description actually for it, because it mixed it in. But it's something that actually, when you think about it, it's not been very much covered by. You've got Let the Right One In, the Swedish film, but I mean, there's not a lot of kind of vampires. Yeah.
No. I just wanted to say that this like particular film, Let the Right One In, has been also a huge inspiration for us and for me also to like get the right take on this whole vampire thing, because we didn't want it to be like this classic the teeth and garlic and all this stuff is like out, and also the whole like erotic aspect of the vampire genre is completely gone. It's just like raw and dirty and more kind of like an addict perspective from it.
That's a really, really interesting take on it, and it's completely a great way of describing it, actually. I can't think of a better way. That's what I really loved about it. your character, so you play Liv in the series. And it's kind of a bit weird because I literally finished this show like a couple of weeks ago, and I still feel that you're Liv right now. So it's kind of like, so
don't worry,
Liv,
I'm not going to bite you. Don't worry.
With the series, so you play Liv, who is found as a dead body one morning, and then wakes up alive. And then you've got your brother Odd, who runs a funeral home. So it's a really interesting combination of characters there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, he got the family business, but she also works there like sometimes, which we can see like later in the series, like episode 6. So they're like, also the father is in the first couple of episodes, so we can really see that this has been in our family for like 5 generations, and they know, like, they have been doing this since they were kids. Like they're used to being around dead bodies, because it's like the funeral home is also the same house where they live. So they live like in the 2nd floor and 3rd floor. So it's like they're used to being around death, and so they both work there. Like, we'll see in if we get another season how it goes with the funeral home, if they become like the new pair. Working there.
Well, I heard someone describe it in a brilliant way by comparing it as the TV series 6 Feet Under, which is one of my favorite TV series, meets Dexter, about the serial killer. And I thought that's an interesting take. I kind of quite like how that mixes together, and it does show like how much can happen from the second, if fingers crossed there's a second season of that. There's so many questions and things that I want to talk about. Just one particular character in it, for me, is Judith, Kim Fairchild. I've never seen her in anything before, but this how did you keep a straight face on set working with her, and actually with Elias as well, because they're so funny working on that? I just smiled every scene that she was in. She just was so funny, and so much humor and just brilliant.
I know she's great. And also André Sørum, which is the Reinert character. I mean, they're both so hilariously funny that I think we cracked up quite a lot in those scenes. But she's amazing. I mean, it's so strange that no one picked her up before, because she's worked a lot in the theaters, and also she's a singer, sings like amazingly beautiful.
Cool.
And I think there's a kind of misunderstanding sometimes in the Norwegian. I don't know how that is in England or whatever, Sweden or Denmark, but casting people sometimes tend to think that people who work at the theater are not able to do like filming, because they're like too big in their expression or whatever. But I don't think they really understand that actors are able to adapt to the media that they're working in. So I think it's just very curious that no one picked her up before, and thank God that we did.
Yeah, totally.
Because everybody's talking about her, and she's gonna have a wonderful career from now.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope, because she deserves it, because she's so good.
Yeah, I joked actually about how there should be a spin-off series just based on her character Judith, because and there's the little things in the show that I really enjoy, that she was always eating almost in
Yeah.
every moment pretty much she was eating in that, and just the little things that were very amusing in that.
I think actually that was her own idea.
Really?
if I'm not wrong. Yeah. I think actually she was the one to come up with that she was going to eat in every scene. In particular, we have like this candy in Norway called seimen, which is a really like stereotypical Norwegian candy, which is like jelly, small men in different colors. And she was like, my character is eating those. so random, but so cool. I think that's also in it, some places where she eats seimen.
No, she's absolutely fantastic. And again, also, I mean, we spoke before about your about Elias and your relationship there, and how funny and great he was to work with on set. And I think it really shines through in the series, just how well everybody got on, because it is kind of around your almost 5 characters that carries it. On that, were you aware of him? Had you worked with him before in anything, or was it new kind of working together? Elias, yeah.
Oh, I mean, me and Elias went to theater school together 12 years ago. So we know each other really well. And I think that also made it very easy for us to play siblings, because we've known each other for 12 years and went to like this state theater school when you're only like 8 students in the class, so you get to know each other really well. And we also worked together on another show like 4 years ago or something. That one was really easy. Because you get so much for free when you know a person that well from before, so you don't really have to use any time to get to know each other, because we do.
You just got to click.
Yeah. And he's also such an amazing actor, and so funny and sweet, and he's just he's
good
really
guy to work with.
Yeah.
I'm going to say now, because I'm going to ask a few questions that are about the series, but a bit more so spoilery. So I will say now, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, stop watching. I'll put a little sign up and stuff. But so I mean, there's a few things that I was kind of, when I was watching it and wanted to speak to you, was that you do some pretty intense scenes in this film, in the series. I mean, apart from the fact playing dead from the start must have been, pretty difficult. And how you managed that was
a doll. It was not.
Was it a doll completely in there?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So these little secrets that we find out on there. But obviously, the claustrophobic coffin scene is something that sticks out as pretty intense. I haven't seen anything like that since Kill Bill 2, really, or Buried. But it was, that was a lot. So how did they? I mean, obviously they didn't put you in a box and try and set you alight, but you're here to tell the tale of that. How did you go about kind of filming those scenes? And because it was very well done, it was very convincing.
Oh yeah, thank you. I mean, like the coffin scene, we had we didn't do a lot of takes. We just did, actually, I think, one really, really long take. And they had taken out like the side of the coffin, which is like, it's like this almost. So when you put the lid on, it's not hard to imagine that you're trapped, because even though the side is open where the camera is, you feel kind of trapped. So I actually also watched the Buried, the film, to get inspired, but Yeah, what can I say? It's I think it's like one of the biggest fears for many people to get trapped in a coffin like that. And I can also remember as a child, I was like, I was afraid that someone would like bury me alive, or that I would be like skin dead and not be dead, and people would bury me and I would wake up. It's like a classic nightmare. So that it kind of came to me quite quickly. That
I can
one,
imagine, yeah.
Even though, yeah, it was really intense. We had to like we just did very few takes, and I had to like take a break in between. Just yeah, it's a couple of more, like the fight scene with Andrea. It's also intense, but in another way. That was also quite funny because like we were in this mud, which were so much more slippery than we thought when we came. So we had like practiced this way to like punch each other really like naturally, so it would look like that we got hit. And but when we came there, it was so slippery. So all the like falling stuff, it's real.
Genuine. It did
look. We are actually falling. So that was in the more funny end. Yeah.
Those are such. I mean, some key scenes in that, and was hilarious. I mean, but also quite violent as well in a way, because you didn't hold back at all in that at all. So that was quite interesting. With the one thing that also, I mean, I noticed and I found really funny was, Scandinavia and places are always known for their beautiful decor in all their houses and how nicely furnished they are. And it seemed like they really went out of their way to just go the other way with that. Was that a deliberate kind of set on there, or I was interested to know, because it felt like you were in like the 70s or something with the kind of decor and things.
Yeah, I think it's actually because because we're so much in the apartment of the father, Arvid.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And he is kind of like stuck there in the 70s or something. It's more up to date a little bit, at least in the apartment of Odd and Rose. But this house is amazing. It is an actual house that exists in Skarnes, which they found. And of course, it's dressed for us. And but like from the beginning, it was this nail salon. And the lady who lived there, she's dead, but she ran like this nail salon of this little town. And when we came there before, like the other rooms are still like also stuck in the 70s. It's like this solarium when you
a solarium, for the sun.
Yeah. And in different rooms, and they're like this yellow color, which is really like 70s. And so I think we actually, the house itself has a lot of 70s left in it. But I think also it's a choice on purpose, so we won't because we didn't want it to feel like it's now, like 2020, or but not specifically the 70s either, but kind of a family maybe stuck a little bit back in time.
Yeah. And do you think, I mean, Skarnes, is it going to get a little bit of kind of tourism popularity now with people visiting there, perhaps?
I really hope so. Yeah, me too.
Really good to see. And what else have you got anything kind of planned in the future? Any works kind of in the pipeline for you? I know you mentioned you had a brief role in. I'm going to call it Wild Man because I think the Norwegian is Vildemand. So that, which is doing the tours in a few festivals at the moment, we're hoping to get next year. But
that's a really not a big part, but I'm looking forward to see the film because it sounds really cool, and I think it's going to be a great movie. But other than that, it's actually a secret.
Okay.
I can't tell you more. Sorry. But
that's good. Well, there's lots. There's things happening. That's the most important thing, I think. So, we will get to see you again soon, which is important.
I hope so. If everything goes well.
Fingers crossed. Fingers tightly crossed.
Yeah.
And I'm always intrigued. What have you been watching and kind of watching, listening to recently? Have there been any kind of standout films that you've seen?
It's that movie, of course, but also. You mentioned Grit already, which I absolutely loved. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the prequel of Sopranos.
Film. It's a really good show.
That's not Norwegian, but
no, that's good. No, anything we always, because I like to share all the Nordic stuff, but I love to hear what the Nordics are watching as well, to share that. I think it's really cool.
That's
a great show.
And also, of course, the third season of Succession.
Yes,
I'm really looking forward to it.
I love how international that is. It's huge. I think it really speaks volumes, that show. Everybody in the world is talking about it. It's just
so good.
So good.
I mean, it's so good. So those are the main things right now. I also have seen quite a few really good Norwegian documentaries, actually.
Cool. Okay.
Last month. One that's called I don't know the English title, but it's made by Emil Trier. Not Joachim Trier, but Emil Trier. And the Norwegian title is Stol på meg.
It's I think it's known as we've seen it. We saw it at Copenhagen.
You saw it
about the guy who just made up businesses.
The
film was crazy.
It's crazy.
That was a hell of a film.
But I mean, also, it's a fantastic documentary and story. I mean, oh my God, how could I not see this case when it was in the media? Maybe I was too small, but anyways, it's really good. And also the new documentary about the Norwegian band Aha.
Yes,
Also really good.
Very excited by that. And I'm looking forward to the new Bent Hamer film, The Middleman, who's in Toronto right now. Okay, I've not heard of this one, so that's a good one to add to the list.
Do it. He's also one of our really top filmmakers in Norway, so you should see it. And
okay. Oh, that's good.
The
Aha movies are exciting. I liked them. I loved them as a kid, and the marketing at the moment, having all the actors sing that song in different situations on the Instagram, like people should go and look at this because it's so much fun. Like they've got everybody on there singing, trying to sing it because it's the hardest notes to sing. I think
it's the hardest notes, but still everyone has sung this song because it's so famous in Norway. So everybody knows it and everybody knows the lines and the notes, but it's also one of the hardest songs to sing, I think.
Not to be attempted. And in terms of music, I mean, what have you been listening to at the moment? What kind of bands do you like?
My all-time favorite, not like right now, but in general, is the Norwegian jazz singer Raska Tonev.
Okay.
She's dead, and she died when she was like 34 or something. So no, yeah, 34. So she's but like in the when was it? In the 80s maybe. She was like huge and also world famous. She's great. Radka Tonev, you have to check her out.
Okay.
It's like yeah, it's for your soul.
Yeah.
This music. Cool. She is a jazz singer. But what else? I mean, it's a lot of like small indie bands. But just at the moment, no, just at the moment, it's like the standards. I really love. We have a lot of like really good pop music ladies in Norway, like Sigrid and Dagny, and also of course Emilie Nicolas. If you haven't heard of her, check her out. She's amazing. She's not like just pop, but a little bit more like jazzy maybe. And also a really cool band which is called High as a Kite.
High as a Kite, okay.
Yeah, which is, they haven't released music for a while, but they're also really good. And some of the like older stuff they did, I've been listening to death. So you should check that out.
It's a good recommendation.
It's not like the newest recommendations maybe, but I think that's
helps you. Keeps you kind of ticking over. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's very cool. Thank you very much. I always love listening to the recommendations. I know some great recommendations. I try to remember now. I must for the name of that film, just for Emil Trier. I had it written down, and I was just going to.
Yeah, let me check.
I had it here. Was called I saw so many films of it's called Trust Me. Is that
the English
title for that?
Okay, yeah.
About Walid Ahmed.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is at the moment in terms of release, but there's more and more documentaries beginning to surface, and even in the UK now, which is really good. But we've got a close eye on this one to share.
Yeah,
it's
and also
fascinating.
Yeah, and also which comes to my mind, of course, I don't know the English title on that one as well, but it's called The Generation Utøya.
Okay,
which came out. Yeah, have you seen it?
I haven't yet. I've it's Auslag Holm.
Yeah, Auslag Holm. Yeah, she's brilliant.
Yeah,
she's brilliant.
I mean, really want to see that. I hopefully see it. It's doing a festival circuit, so that's kind of it's kind of hardcore stuff. But she's such a good documentary maker. I mean, I just listened to this podcast where she is a guest, and she's just so fascinating and fantastic as a person. She's so smart and clever, like, and wise somehow. So I really everything she does is great. Right, she's on the Nordic Watchlist. Like, there's a lot there, so that's good. There's really good recommendations. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. I love Post Mortem, and I think it's a great series. It's really stuck out. I haven't forgiven you both for having raised me up, stuck in my head for days. For days after.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
Odd.
I am strong when I am on your shoulders.